Good evening, my name is Gilded Chunks, or Sunroof for those who know me elsewhere. This video have the goal to explain the rules and the details of my account, but before I would like to present myself as the player of this account. My name is Sunroof. I'm 23 years old, I'm French Canadian, and English is not my first language. And it can create some strange situation. You will sometimes hear me do some mm, you know what I mean. To think about how to create coherent see this coherent sentence with the knowledge of the language. As like I said, it's not my first language. Let's begin with rules number 1. So rule number 1 is that my chunks need to be chunks which have a yield. Let me rephrase that. The chunks which I begin with on the account are chunks which have a yield or a representation of a yield. So here's the map of my account. I have the cooking guild, which give me multiple features for my account. In, I would say that, location. I have also the champion guild. I have the monastery. The monastery is unlocked because the monastery itself have a requirement to enter in, which is 31 prayer. So I consider the monastery as the prayer guild. It also have the prayer master, which have the cape, and it have also the robes and the altar, which give a bonus to prayer. I have the mining guild, which is the mining guild, which give also motherlode mine the dwarven mine, and the mining guild. I have bird up unlocked because the road den is for me the thieving guild. I have the heroes guild because the heroes guild is a guild. I have the crafting guild chunk. And then I have the warriors guild. Then Brimhaven is unlocked due to the agility arena, which is the agility guild. After that, there's the legend guild, the ranging guild, the fishing guild, the wizard guild, the mid guild, the woodcutting guild, the farming guild. There's also a chunk that is not shown on this map, which is Kildagrim East. So the east chunk of Kildagrim. So this is basically all the chunks I have at the beginning. And my account will have those chunks unlocked by default. Rule number 2. I can only acquire items which are inside my chunks. So, wall spawn, monsters, shops, everything that acquire an item need to be inside my chunk. But I can lure, kill, loot monster outside my chunk if one of them is confirmed to have fully walked with their full size inside my chunk. Let's take an example. Unicorns, cows, and giants have a size of 2x2, so they make 4 tiles. If 2 tiles of those creatures are inside the chunk but not their full size, so the 4 tiles are inside the chunk, I cannot go kill those monsters outside my chunk. I can also kill any variant of the creature if they have the same name. There's one thing about this rule. I can only go to the chunk adjacent to the side the monster have walked by. So here's how I represent it. And it's also a real example you will see in the episodes. Goblins from the Goblin Village can go in that side of the chunk. And so they walk by this line. There's four sides, not size, side, sorry. There's four side for a chunk. If the goblin passed through that side, I can go in that chunk, this one. If, let's say, I have another example with goblins. Some goblins go here, and they pass from this south chunk to the north chunk here, which is the fishing guild. So I can go in that certain chunk and go kill those goblins. This is how I explain it, but you will see it in game. In one of my episodes, I explain it multiple times to make sure that this rule is fully explained correctly. And I'm gonna repeat this rule multiple times because all of it is streamed, so sometimes I will have different viewers. Number 3, I can only skill and gain HP inside my shops. But I can go gain current favor outside my chunk. I don't know if it's the real typo. I'm sorry, it's just me. I'm gonna correct those later. You can also comment ideas for rules. Help me correct the typo of my rules. It's a community account, so I really like having help from other people. And this is how I gain my fun when I stream, when I upload those videos, is to see that a lot of people would assemble together to help construct and help the journey of the account. So I can go gain current favor outside my chunk if I made sure to gain the minimum XP possible. So to explain it, there's the Assidious house. So the Assidious clan or house, I would say more house, or I can say clan. There's the plowing of the field. When plowing the fields, I gain the favor, but I gain a possibility of gaining farming XP. I can gain this farming XP because it's sadly natural. But there's a chance the plow or the object, this thing, can break. And when it breaks, I can use a hammer and repair it and gain crafting XP. I'm not obligated to repair this tool and gain this crafting experience. So I will not repair the tool for plowing the fields because it's more XP than the minimum, which is basically more than what I could. It's more XP that is not mandatory to gain the favor. So let's continue. I can do only quests which begins inside my chunks. But I can also do their prerequisite even if they are outside my chunk. But I have to drop any material reward or gameplay features. I'm gonna retypo this one just to say they are not set in. The rules are set in stone, but the way they are said, uh, I need to correct most of those things because, like I said, English is not my first language. So I have to drop any materials reward, and I cannot use gameplay features that are unlocked by those quests. Example: the air balloon of enlightenment journey quest is a feature. It's a gameplay feature. So I cannot use it if I didn't unlock the chunk of the quest itself. So here's another example. Let's say a day I need fishing contest. Fishing contest begins in one of those two quest places. One of the reward is to be capable of using the shortcut. If I don't unlock this chunk, I cannot use the shortcut. But the quest requirement for another quest, let's say Legend Quest or Heroes Quest, if fishing contest is part of it, I will be capable of doing the quest. It also when material the meaning of material reward is everything that is given as material as a material like how to say that as a physical item. If a prerequisite give me XP, I will be sad to gain the XP. It will ruin my account in some ways, but sadly, I will have to get it to get the requirements of the quests I can do in my chunks. Number 5, which is also the system. Number 5 and number 6 is the system of how I'm gonna unlock chunks on this account. Each time I enter a guild with a requirement to enter, or I finish a quest linked to a guild, I can unlock a chunk with a boss and or a minigame of my choice. If the boss or the minigame require multiple chunks, I can unlock them too, if they are connected. Example, Soul Wars have 4 chunks. Also, Soul Wars have 4 chunks, not 5. So, here's Soul Wars. This is the 4th chunk of Soul Wars. Because the icon, the last, let's say, icon of the minigame is in that chunk. This is the entry to the minigame. So, Edgeville, which is the entry portal at the origin, this one, will not be unlocked. If I get Soul Wars, Edgeville will not be unlocked. It counts also for some other minigame. So after unlocking this, the chunk from those two possibilities, also a quest that is linked from a quest that is linked to a guild. There's 4 of them: Dragon Slayer 1, Heroes Quest, Legend Quest, and Dragon Slayer 2. Those are the 4 quests that are linked to a guild. So, entering the guild with a requirement to enter is give me a chunk, but also doing the quest of a guild give me a chunk. So the those 4 gills will give me 2 chunks, not 1. After unlocking those chunks, I can only utilize the content and use the minigame / boss teleport after 1 KC or finish 1 instance of the minigame with effort and fully. The reward is not needed to be fully. So, and there's also a little exception about this one. If I need to buy an item that is inside the chunk to do the mini game, I can buy it, but I cannot use vanity items. I cannot go in the vanity aspect of the chunk. So what it means is, if there's other content that is not required to do or to use in the chunk for the minigame itself, I cannot utilize it. 5.2, which is a section of that same rules. When doing minigames, I can do them outside of my chunks. If they ask me to do an action outside of my chunks where the task was given, but I have to use items from my chunks. There is an example of that one. Mahogany Homes give contracts in Varrock, Falador, Ardoon, and Arcitis. So if, let's say, Mahogany Homes give me I talk to the NPC in Falador and say, go in Varrock, and Varrock is not unlocked, I can do the task because the NPC that gave me the contract is unlocked. But the items I'm gonna use inside those chunks need to be gained inside the chunk I unlocked. That's basically the explanation of that. For each 99s, I can unlock 1 chunk of my choice. And it doesn't have to have a boss or a minigames. It can be any chunk. It's on me. And yes, it's on a 99. So this rule is mostly for the endgame chunks. If I want to unlock a chunk of my flavor, let's say I want something for helping me with a grind for the future, I can use a 99 to unlock a chunk that could help me a quality of life upgrade, or something else. Let's say I just want a chunk that will help me with some type of gameplay. Number 7. Clue scroll can only be done if the clue step and the items required are found in my chunks. There's a little exception for this. I'm gonna add it live. So here. But I can explore how I want to get non-items, to get requirements that are non-items. So what does it mean? Some clue scrolls. Sorry. Some clue scrolls require you to get music. I can go where I want to get those music to do the clue step. If a quest is required to gain the music, let's say, I'm sadly not I will not be capable of doing the quest to get the music itself. But if, let's say, this quest is unlocked by the chunk rule, the chunk unlocked rules, I can go explore anywhere that will be unlocked by those rules. You will see an example in the future. Number 8. I can only use banks which are inside guilds. So remember when I shown you the bank in the cooking guild chunk? This bank cannot be used, but the bank that is inside the cooking guild can be used. So this bank cannot be used, but the bank inside the mining guild can be used. This one can be used. This one can be used. And the one in Road Den can be used. Number 9. The normal rule, and the rule that is at the end. I will have to draw the starting items from tutorial islands. As you saw on the channel, I have at this moment 7 episodes or 7 sessions. I already have dropped those items, so don't worry. Now that I've explained all of the rules, let me talk a bit about the account and why I created it, who inspired me, and some story, like background stories. First off, this account was inspired by multiple YouTubers, which I'm gonna credit. The chunk system was created by, if I remember, let me. Allison? I don't remember the name of the person. But everything will be given. There's a guy named Robin who was the inspired. He inspired me a lot for the Guild Chunk account. He was creating. He created his own Snowflake account and he had videos. But sadly, his last upload have been from 1 years, and I'm gonna rephrase that one. Sorry, it have been 1 year that it the. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to get too quick. I need to take it slowly. Sorry. The last time he uploaded one of his episodes was 1 year ago. And he gave me all the inspiration for the guild only concept. For the chunk, it was the chunk part. Well, it's not because it's meta. It's mostly because it's not doable if I don't use the chunk. And after doing all the theory crafting, I found out that it's doable. That if I unlock the chunk, which the guilds are in, I can do all the grind to unlock all the guilds. And when I discovered that, I said that's the account I want to do. But there's a little secret. I didn't want to do a guild account before. Before that, I wanted to do a castle only account. The castle only Ironman was created by cavemen only, one of the forefathers of of the Snowflake accounts. And after thinking about it, I I felt that I wouldn't do better than a legend. And I said to myself, I want to create my own little thing. Even if there's a lot of people that created an account that is similar to mine, I said I want to create something that is a big millimillo of multiple concepts and create my own. And after thinking for 3 years, yes, it have been 3 years I've been thinking about doing videos. I finally decided to do it. There's a thing. There's a reason why this video is at this very moment 26 minutes and there's no cut, no montage, no editing. It's because I don't like it. And that's and the reason why I didn't want to do RuneScape, I didn't want to do videos for 3 years, it's because of editing. It was a it was a problem inside myself. It was self-doubt that I wouldn't be capable of doing good content if I don't do editing. And I discovered something that unblocked me. And this is why I'm talking about it. All of this account will be streamed, will be archived, and you will see the full content of this account. Every single seconds will be a VOD. There will be no out of camera progression. And the reason for that is that I'm the only one right now that is doing this. And I said to myself, that's my brand. So welcome. Welcome to Gilded Chunks, my Ironman series. See ya!